The Conbini boys, they're the Conbini boys, they're the Conbini boys.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Matt, how are you doing?
2 thumbs up, Mike. It's 2021.
Woo!
2020 is behind us. We're on to a better and brighter future. How's your 2021 going so far, Mike?
I gotta say, it's going a lot better than 2020. I can tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, only a little bit of time has passed so far, but I think everybody's feeling it. They're feeling like, hey, let's try to make this a good one. Yeah, Mima and I starting off the year trying to do some small things, eat a little bit better, sleep a little bit better. Just really pumped up for 2021. I don't know. How about you?
Same here, and I think you're right. I think everybody around the world is going to collectively try to make it a great year because of how bad 2020 was. So I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And a full year of Conbini Boys is ahead of us, Mike. So that is maybe what I'm most excited about here. And, we're already off to a great start. Shall we go ahead and dive into the action this week?
Let's do it.
Well, Mike, I'm pleased to say that the Chicky Wars are back.
Thank God.
For 2 weeks, we went without the Chicky Wars, the big three. Nobody was releasing new Chickies. There were a lot of bone-in Chickies coming out in early December, but everybody pushed pause for the last 2 weeks of the year.
That's
But
right.
we're back, Mike.
Mhm.
And we're going to kick things off here out of Lawson with
Oh, boy.
Karaage-kun, known flavor number 210 here, Mike. And this is a big one. This is a tie-up or a collabo with, yes, Sailor Moon, Mike.
Wow.
And this is called the Crystal Salt flavor. A light salt is how it's
Mhm.
described here. Beautiful packaging with the Sailor Moon illustration on the box here, Mike. What are
Mhm.
your thoughts on this new Karaage-kun flavor?
Well, I gotta say, Matt, I'm really excited. Like we said, we had 2 weeks without the
Mm.
chicken and no Chicky Wars, and now just to come back with a new karage in the fresh, start of the year. I'm feeling great. I love it. Look at this guy. It's not a black box, so this is gonna be one more sort of its kind of normal style flavors.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this guy. Yeah, you're right. He's got his costume on as well. That's in case you didn't notice. That's Karage-kun. He's dressed up like the like some sort of maestro. I'm not sure, but I don't know, Matt. I mean, I love it. Lightly salted Karage-kun. I can't imagine. I think that's just sounds perfect to me.
It does sound perfect. There is a little bit of a mystery with regard to this one. It does mention Naruto no Uzushio uses
Hmm.
100% of that. We did
Hmm.
look up what Naruto no Uzushio is. It is a whirlpool
Hmm.
located between Shikoku and Honshu, where two
Hmm.
tides converge to create this phenomenon. We're
Yeah.
not exactly sure because Shio means salt and
Hmm.
Uzushio means a light salt flavor, but the Naruto refers to a place, so we're not sure what the connection here is with this very underwhelming whirlpool, which you
Hmm.
can purchase tickets to go on a cruise to go see. We want to share this with the guys at Japan by River Cruise for them to feature.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, otherwise looks like a great item.
Yeah. And if you do figure out what this is, like there's got to be a pun somewhere that what is the final pun? If you know the final, like what it is are whirlpools a thing in Sailor Moon? I don't know. So if you have the final key, please let us know.
Please. All right, Mike. Now we do have another chickie. This one out at Family Mart.
Oh
This
boy.
is the mala
Oh
flavor
boy.
Famichiki, Mike. And I gotta say, 2021 is already off to a phenomenal
Yes, it
start
is.
here. This chickie here, Mike, has gochujang. I know I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but that's that spectacular fermented chili paste so popular
Hmm.
in Korean cuisine
Hmm.
baked in to this sucker here, Mike. I gotta tell you, this may be the most exciting chickie I've seen since we started Conbini Boys. I love gochujang. What's your thought on this one, Mike?
Wow. Okay. Definitely excited. Like I said with the Karagakun, same way. I love to see, right out of the bat, right off from the start, we are seeing a Karagakun and we're
Mm,
seeing a Famichiki.
mm,
What a better way to start 2021. And like you said, with a killer flavor here, the
mm,
mala flavor.
mm.
Oh man, especially on these cold nights, you get in there and you get that crispy Famichiki. You take a bite in there, and inside some extra, a little bit extra kick to that juice there. I gotta say, Matt, this looks really amazing, and yeah, I don't know, I definitely would like to try this.
Yeah, Mike, there are certain magical ingredients that can make anything taste good. A1 steak sauce, au
Yes.
jus,
Oh
Thousand
yeah.
Island dressing come to mind. But this may be the greatest of them all, Mike. I was introduced to gochujang, again, I know I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, by a
Hmm.
Korean friend in college, and I haven't looked back since. I keep a carton of it in the fridge. I put it on everything. Put it on eggs, put it on pancakes, put it on ice cream. Sky's the limit when it comes to this stuff, Mike. So when you're staring down 1,000 eyeballs of shirasu or a still moving octopus, be sure to have this in your back pocket. Pull it out of the holster. You'll be eating like a king. So yeah, super pumped about this one, Mike.
All
All right,
right,
so
man.
wow, Chicky Wars off to a great start already in 2021.
Mm, man, Matt. Well, you can tell that the energy's back. The end of 2020, it was getting pretty bare there. I mean,
Oh,
there weren't
brutal.
many items, no new chickies. We were really getting a little worried. We had hope though that, things were going to come back. And Matt, as start off with the Chicky Wars, you can see things are back and they're
Mm,
better than ever. And it's very similar over at the scoreboard as well. So this week at the scoreboard, Matt, let me hit you with the numbers. So, Family Mart, 43 items,
mm.
Lawson, 28 items, and 7-Eleven, 57 items. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no. First, like you said, it's great to see these numbers back up. We saw Lawson down to 6 items last week, all desserts. Now up to 28, not quite near their mid 30s, but getting close. Family Mart, 43. Pretty
Mhm.
standard for those guys, although they do fly in the 50 range as well. 7-Eleven, still trying to get the engine warmed up at 57 items. I know they're
Mhm.
topping the ranking this week. They'll top it every week, ladies and gentlemen, but 57, trust us, they're still warming up in the batter's
Yeah.
box here. They'll be hitting for the fences maybe next week or the week after, getting up at 100, 120 numbers.
Yeah, man. I agree, and it's just these it's just it's things are just starting here, but these are starting a lot quicker than I thought, and so that's
Oh
what
yeah.
gave me got me pretty excited here, Matt. So all right, so we got a bigger a wider array of choices this week. So let's go ahead and take a look at our winners and losers. So Matt, this week, how about we start with your loser and boom.
Yeah, Mike. This is out of Family Mart. What we're looking at here is a pasta dish, okay? And what this dish is doing, it's combining two kinds of sauces. We have the red bolognese sauce and then the white cream sauce. And what's interesting about this is they're split on either side, kind of like a yin and yang symbol here. Where you got the bolognese on the right and you got the cream sauce on the left, and they're even separated by
Mhm.
some sort of vegetable there. There's some green leaves that are keeping them apart,
Mhm.
like it's mediating a kind of gang war there. Mike, I'm not sure what they're thinking here. I like bolognese. I like cream
Mhm.
sauce pasta.
Yeah.
I don't want them in the same dish. As soon as you
Mm.
begin to mix these up, you're gonna get flavors nobody ever wanted on this earth to come together. So I
Huh.
could imagine sort of eating around, sort of meticulously trying to keep the red and the white sauces apart before letting
Mhm.
them sort of swirl together. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what Family Mart was trying to do here. Maybe trying to please two sides of the aisle. I don't see
Mhm.
how that's going to happen. I think you got to have bolognese or you got to have cream. You can't have bolognese and cream in the same bowl here.
Wow, Matt, I gotta. All right, let me give you my honest opinion. I first opened this up and I thought, oh, did I make a mistake? Was this Matt's winner for the week? Because at first glance, I thought, whoa, now, hey, that almost looks like some meat sauce, and that looks like some cheesy sort of white sauce. So, hey, that's a winner right there. But Matt, as you just so expertly described, there is a big problem here, and you're exactly right. I don't know if anyone knows. You mix those two together, what color do you get? Is it an orange? Is it like a lightish brown? I'm not sure. And then I started thinking, yeah, you're right. I guess you try to eat around, but no, I think this needs two separate, like plates here. You need
Yeah.
you need just one or the other, and maybe you can have that spinach or whatever it is in the as a little topping to throw wherever you want. So Matt, I agree, and I like the analysis on this because I think many people might open this and go to the convenience, see this, be like, whoa, hey, I like that, and unfortunately, like you said, might combine the two things that should not be combined, and who knows?
It could be too much of a good thing here.
Too much of a good thing here. All right, Matt. Well, okay. As for mine, this is my loser of the week. This is coming out of 7-Eleven,
Oh,
and
God almighty. What is that?
so Matt, you can.
What the hell is that?
So Matt, this is a yuzu ponzu de taberu pork and moyashi, which is bean sprouts. So, it's pretty much just what they're saying. It's we got some ponzu, which is like a Swedish, ponzu. I mean, how would you describe it? A Swedish kind of vinegary.
Sauce, dipping sauce. Delicious. Yeah.
It's delicious. I love it. Yeah, and this is a yuzu ponzu, so it's using yuzu instead of lemon. And you know what, Matt? I love ponzu. It's one of my favorite sauces. I'd actually throw that up there in my top 5 sauces. And you can see they're not lying with what they said. They've got a packet of ponzu there, and then they got a bowl. And in this bowl, you got some pork and you've got some moyashi, which is the bean sprouts. But Matt, I've never seen such just a non-appetizing meal like this. I got to be honest, I'm not a huge bean sprout person, and of course this is 7-Eleven's photography that's sort of given this terrible sort of terrible look, but just in general, I don't know, this just doesn't do it for me. I don't know, do you have any thoughts on this?
Mike, we've seen some bad 7-Eleven photography these past 10 months. This is easily the worst. It's hard to describe how bad this looks. It looks like somebody at 7-Eleven found some pork under the couch. Thought, we're one or two short on the new products this week. Let's just put some sauce on this. A couple bean sprouts. Been sitting there for about 12 months. I think the half-life on this product here, Mike, must be about 1,200 years. This thing looks radioactive. This thing is a rotting corpse of pig guts, and not enough ponzu sauce in the world to make that taste good, Mike. That is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd almost like to. It's the sort of dish where you'd kind of like to throw it to Lawson and say, "Hey, Lawson, if you were going to do this, how would you do this?" And I'm sure what they would come out with, that picture would be beautiful. It might make your eyes water. It's so beautiful. I mean, it's just yeah, man. I don't know what they're doing. They're shooting themselves in the foot, over and over. But all right, Matt. Enough with our losers. It's 2021. We're trying to look towards the future. So let's look at our winners for this week, and we're going to go to yours first. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah, Mike. This is the Jima High Fly Lemon, Mike. This is a canned cocktail, Mike.
Wow.
Lemon flavored canned cocktail. But what we're talking about here, Mike, we have professional wrestling legend Tanahashi Hiroshi, aka the 100-Year Ace, doing his finishing move, the high flyer on the can here. Um, Mike, we talk about professional wrestling a lot on this
Yeah.
podcast because
Yes.
it's another passion of ours. You know, of course, we featured the legendary Choshu Riki back in
That's right.
July when he did that collabo with Family Mart in Okinawa, coming
Hmm.
up with all kinds of bizarre giant pork products.
Yep.
We speculated about what a Stone Cold Steve Austin themed conbini would look like. Of course, a conbini full of nothing but Coors Light. And
That's
now,
right.
here we go. Another wrestling product here. A little background on Tanahashi. Still relatively young, 46. He's been in the game since 99. Um,
Mm.
and again, his big move here, he flies off the turnbuckle,
Hmm.
touches his hands to his feet in a kind of crunching motion, and then drops a bomb on his opponent to finish him off. And that's what's pictured here on the can.
Oh,
And I'll say it right now, I think this will be a contender. In fact, I'll nominate it right now for
mm.
2021 Sexiest Can Alive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
come December, I think this may very well take that prize.
Yeah. Matt, all around. I mean, first off, I'm actually gonna for our video watchers, let's try and just take a look at the difference between these. Hold on. Like which one, is
We're toggling between the rotting pork dish that 7-Eleven put out versus this brilliantly framed
oh
up,
man.
yes, perfectly framed up high fly lemon here from Lawson.
Yeah, man, I agree. And look at how beautifully they did this background. They've got, I mean, their visual designers at Lawson are just out of this world. I mean, like this art as well. Matt, I mean, what there's so many drinks on the there's so many cocktails and they come and go and nothing they don't really stand out. Maybe you try them once, you don't. I can't imagine getting in there and not wanting to try this thing.
Mm.
First off, again, just to go back to the art, but I mean, like they've got the Zima like circle, and out of it shooting these beams of lemon light that are like the sun, and then from above, this wrestler's performing this move where he's
Mm.
flying down to. It's just so good, and I could see you're standing there in front of the
Yep.
in front of the
Yep.
the cooler, and you just want to grab this thing and kind of help it down, help it on its flight down. I would love to try this. It looks great. I guess because it's Zima, it's kind of like maybe a sort of
So
sour,
that's a
or
Zima. Okay. That's what that means.
I think it's a Zima, like Zima the.
The clear
I,
beer.
we don't know. That's not actually for certain. But anyways, I love it, Matt. This is quite a choice right here.
Oh, I'm looking at your tab. I already, oh man, this is well done, sir. I haven't even. I know exactly. All right, sorry. Take it away. This is such a good item. This is such a good item. Sorry.
Matt, all right. Well, then we can go. Speaking of wrestling, we can tag in. We can go double team on this one. This is the hot sando, 4 cheeses, and it's just the 4 cheese sandwich. But I don't think the name really does it justice here, Matt.
No,
This is a
no.
this is a sandwich. Let me describe to our podcast listeners. This is a hot sandwich, so it's going to be heated up.
Mm-hmm.
And on the outside, you've got pretty much a normal sort of sando going on here. You got some, it looks like some ham,
Mm-hmm.
but then inside this cheese,
Mm.
Matt, I know you can see this.
Mm.
It's sort of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the any sci-fi movie where someone sort of goes through a black hole, and like time and space is warped. In the middle of this, there's a
Yes.
cheese sort of.
Mhm.
You could almost call it a white hole. It's not a black hole. It's not sucking everything. It's just kind of like pushing everything out. This is I don't know what to say. This looks like an amazingly cheesy hot sando
Mhm.
with some ham on the outside. I just thought this looked like a total slam dunk.
Yeah, Mike, I think a white hole is that perfectly captures what we're talking about here. This thing, again, certain convenience items do have their own gravitational pull. And this one, it's one of those items. You have this bulging
Mm.
white cream, and the four kinds of cheese in this. We should say there we got the cream cheese, we got the cheddar cheese, we got the
Mhm.
Parmesan cheese, and then there's something called the Maribo cheese, which I don't know what that is, but I'd like to learn more about it. But Mike, I'm just imagining this. It's cold, it's winter. You were just
Oh,
at a house, Mike, that was
yeah.
frozen.
I mean,
Japan,
I
of
almost
course. Yeah, you almost
died. Yeah.
died. Yes. Um, and to think you could just pop that boy in the microwave, heat it up, and just lie down under the kotatsu
Oh.
hot table and just stuff yourself full of four kinds of cheese. Oh boy, is there a better way to spend an evening than that? Hmm.
Yeah, man. All right. A couple things. You're exactly right about this. Like you were saying, I've we've kind of called out the many types of cheese phenomenon that's going on, saying sometimes they say all these types of cheese, but I don't really know. At least in this one, it looks like we're getting different layers of cheese. I'm seeing at least three distinct cheeses in there, so that's really exciting. And you're exactly right. Like, a cold night, like you were saying. Recently, I was at my in-laws. Walked out, take one step out into the hallway. My foot, it almost, frostbite. I almost died. Like I was saying, I barely made it to the bathroom and made it back. But I could imagine before you step out, you dip your big toe into the center of that cheese there.
Ooh.
Probably be good. You could probably make it for a couple hours out there,
I
man.
just wipe it all over your whole body.
Yeah, man. So all right, great. I'm glad we could both agree that this is a winner. And yeah, man, that closes out the scoreboard.
All right, 2021 off to a great start with the new items, but Mike, it's time to get down to brass tacks
Yes,
here.
it is. Yes,
On
it
to
is.
the Conbini Tournament. Mike, we started this, I looked it up, November 24th. It's been almost 6 weeks, Mike, and
Wow.
finally we have two contenders for the Conbini Tournament championship matchup. Yes,
Yes.
applause,
Yes.
applause. So last week, Mike, we had the semifinals out of the
Hmm.
hotbox division. Famichiki going up
Hmm.
against the snack division champion Black Thunder.
That's right.
Then in the other semifinal matchup, Tuna Mayo Onigiri, the Cinderella story, coming out of the meal division up against your number one conveni
Yeah.
item, Pocari Sweat, out of the
Yeah.
beverage division. Mike, how did things turn out with those two matchups?
Yeah, Matt. Well, it was kind of as we we said, and well, let me just give it to you straight, Matt. Pocari Sweat got whooped. It got its ass whooped,
All right,
unfortunately.
sorry. Just my apologies. I, you have all my sympathies.
I
Is that an
appreciate it.
expression? I
No,
don't think I actually said that correctly either time, but I'm sorry for your loss, Mike.
no,
Rest
Matt.
in peace, Pocari Sweat.
Rest in peace, Pocari Sweat. I appreciate it, Matt. And you know what? As when the tournament first started, and you told me you didn't really like the flavor of Pocari Sweat, I've been holding a grudge, to be honest. But last week when you said that after it took down Conbini Drip Coffee to Avenge Can Coffee, you turned a page on Pocari Sweat. That made me really happy. And that's as much as I could get out of this tournament. To someone that I love, this Pocari Sweat, for you to have a new sort of appreciation for it, that always makes me really happy. And hey, it had a good run, but Tuna Mayo Onigiri is just, it seems too powerful.
Mike, yeah, just a quick note about Pocari Sweat. Sorry, didn't mean to upset you with that truth, but I will say from now moving forward, every time I go to the conveni, I will purchase a Pocari Sweat just to pay respect to that item which defeated the conveni fresh coffee.
I appreciate that, man.
Now, yeah, Mike, let's talk a little bit about this Tuna Maya Onigiri here. Now, this snuck up on us. We seeded this 8. We did think an onigiri would make it to the semifinal or even the championship round. I had umeboshi onigiri. We seeded that one. I thought that could possibly go all the way. Tuna Mayo
Yeah.
handily defeated that. Since we found out that Tuna Mayo Onigiri is actually the most popular onigiri across the Conbini. So, lo and behold, here, the Conbini Tournament has yielded the strongest contenders. We have the legendary Famichiki, which really blew out Black Thunder. Black Thunder, let's face it, as good of a product as it is, never stood a chance against the Famichiki.
Yep. Yep.
And so now we have this legendary, hot, juicy, perfect item, the Famichiki, going up against this. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a force. This sort of practical, boring, indomitable, underwhelming Tuna Mayo Onigiri here. And Mike, we're a day into this match, and it's close. This is the toughest match that Famichiki's had so far. Where do you see this going?
You know what, Matt? For the first time all tournament, I just have no goddamn idea, man. I'm just throwing up. I had a bunch of ideas. I've just thrown them up. If I could show you my floor, it's just full of just crumpled up pieces of paper. I don't know, Matt. This is I have no idea, Matt. I want to say that our boy, Famichiki's probably gonna pull it down, but I mean, Tuna Mayo Onigiri has definitely been the story of this tournament at least for me. I think for you as well.
Absolutely.
I think that people are just gonna have to ask themselves, like you said, Tuna Mayo, it's kind of boring, and in many ways, I'm sure for many of our listeners who've never been to Japan, you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't even sound like something that like would be Japanese,
right?
It's almost like you maybe laugh and say like, no, nobody eats that, but let me tell you, people do. And I think that it's that mayo, that slippery mayo that's been it's been coasting on all tournament long, Matt. And I don't know, is it gonna carry it all the way to take over the juice? Because this is basically a mayonnaise versus a juice matchup going on right here. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea.
Mike, that mayo versus juice, that is a spot on analysis here. I'm trying to figure out an analogy, how to describe, thinking about two boxers. We have Tuna Mayo. This is kind of the Floyd Mayweather of the boxing world. He's not flashy, plays a lot of defense, but he wins all the time. And then Famichiki, it's like the Mike Tyson. When he hits, man, your head's going to fall right off. I mean, you bite into a Famichiki, your life is changed. People talk about eating Wagyu, Kobe beef, and they just think, oh my God, this is the great. No, it's not. Famichiki, you spend $1.90 at a Family Mart, your life is changed. Forget Jiro, forget Kobe beef. Go to one of the 23,000 Family Marts and change your life today. And now it's going up against Tuna Mayo Onigiri. Like you said, Mike, I have no idea what's going to happen. Just to give people a quick update on where we stand, we got 4 days left. This is a 5-day matchup. We got 127 votes in right now. Famichiki has 54% of the vote. Tuna Mayo, 45% of the vote.
Man,
this is tight as hell here.
Wow, last time I checked, it was a wider margin. So I mean, every time I look at this score, it's just I never know what to expect. Again, here as well, just don't really know what to expect. It seems that Famichiki has at least taken the lead for at least this day. We'll see though, because I mean, I know a lot of people saying, I won to vote twice. Hey, there's no rules. You want to go on your burner account and pump your favorite guy, no problem. Call up your mom, call up your dad, say, hey, why don't you log into Twitter and hit a like on this thing for me? Totally allowed, as we saw in Matt, in that. I'm sorry to really bring this up when we're kind of gliding high here, but Matt, you were, canned coffee was the victim of a brigading campaign against it as well. So
That's right, Mike. And I'm actually lobbying Bill Barr to look into that. I think there are a lot of wacky things. I've got Attorney Powell and Giuliani on the phone twice a day at least to figure out what happened there. I'm not convinced. I'm not certifying anything until I get answers on that. But yeah, Mike, this could go either way. We may want to get Nate Silver in on this to get his opinion, just so whatever he picks. Obviously, it's going to be the opposite. That way, we'll know what's going to happen. Before this thing's all over.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, if you're anybody, you still got a chance. Like we said, this is a 5-day battle. All the others have been 1 day. For the semifinals, we did 2 days. This is 5 days. We're gonna let this thing ride. So yeah, please, get in there and drop your vote. Mom and Dad, if you need to figure out how to use Twitter, just give me a call. I can help you out. Yeah, man, a lot to look forward to this week. It's gonna be a nail biter for sure.
It'll be a nail biter, and can't wait to see who makes it out as the Conbini item champion. Okay, Mike, how about we move on to a return of my favorite segment of the podcast. This is At the Genba with Mike. Mike, you are at the Genba, the place where the action happens in Kanazawa. Mm-hmm. You got a couple items this week that you want to tell us about. What do you got for us?
That's right, Matt. Yeah, I'm glad to be back at the Genba, let me tell you. So, like we were kind of mentioning today, so I spent the majority of the, New Year's season at my in-laws, and so, it was only a couple times on the ride there. We hit up Conbini. On the ride back, we hit up Conbini. And you know what, Matt? I pulled up a couple, and I hope that I think you'll be interested in these. So let me just go ahead and share the screen here and show you what I got. Chrome, let's see, is this it? Yep. All right. So first one, Matt. Oh. Can you see what I'm sharing here?
I got some taru sauce, karaage-kun, black box.
That's right. Yes. So the first one I had was the taru karaage-kun, as you just mentioned. And I gotta say, Matt, this is a black label. This is a high class one. We know what's going into this one. It's gonna be not just flavor on the outside. This is going to be flavor compacted inside. And you know what? I gotta say, Matt, this was great. This was great. I'm not like a tartar sauce maniac, but this hit all the right spots for me. It almost reminded me of a Long John Silver entree. I mean, this had this had New England written all over it, and I'm sure you'd be interested. No, but in general, yeah, I'd say, hey, give it 4 stars.
4 stars. Wow, Mike. Yeah, it does look pretty compelling. Nothing says New England quite like chicken nuggets stuffed with tartar sauce. Wow, Mike, and just further proof that Poke Chiki really is playing single A ball here, where once again, Karaage-kun comes up with a 4-star item. That's great to hear, Mike. Wish I could get my hands on it.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Matt. Well, hey, one more I've gotten. This is a total blast from the past. I don't even remember when this was. I think you chose this as your loser maybe 10 weeks ago or so. I'm not sure. Do you remember the last time we saw this guy?
I remember the package. Yeah, no, this is outstanding. Yeah. This is probably this could be 20 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is a long time ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're looking at right now is the Calbee potato chips, the Evolution Garlic cheese series. This is a garlic, cheese, and chicken flavor. That classic dish, and the cover has a like an evolution. Like a gorilla turning into a human being. That's right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was you who picked this up as your loser, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and we couldn't figure out what this was. Well, let me just get it here, Matt. This is a 1-star. This is one of the worst chips I've seen. So, just showing how, you're losers when you see them. This was, for all that was going on here. So garlic, cheese, chicken.
Sounds good.
Evolution, Calbee chips, there's all types of things going on. And it just had a faint garlic flavor. That's it. That's all that it had.
Overpromise, underdeliver, a recipe for disaster for any Conbini item. I do appreciate the packaging here, just to there are 4 stages of evolution, like you said, Mike, beginning with an orangutan or something like this, ending with what looks to be like a Neanderthal eating a potato chip. Fully realized. So yeah, Mike, disappointing to hear that this is a 1-star item, but it looks like we did successfully identify this as a loser way back, maybe 20 or so weeks ago.
Yeah. And just one last note I'll add. This was supposed to be a limited time thing, and we just picked this up, and it's been, like I said, it's been how many months now? So if that gives you a little indication of, it not being a hit, then, can't say much more. But anyways, Matt, all right. Well, that's it for the genba. And hopefully next week I can bring up some other things from the genba again.
Can't wait.
All right, Matt. Well, hey, what the heck? It's 2021. First episode is pretty much done, man.
Wow.
It's been a great time, but as always, I just we're starting a new era here. This is 2021 Conbini Boys, right? This is not your Conbini Boys of bygone years. This is we're new and improved, I'd say.
New and improved. We're getting better every day. Also, just want to say a big thanks to all of our followers on Twitter. We hit 1,000 followers this week, and just want to, big appreciation to all of those folks who joined the conversation with us. We get tons of laughs from everything that you guys send in. And the conversations that everybody participates in. It's a lot of fun for us, so just want to say also thanks to folks on Twitter, not just the folks who listen to the podcast here. So hope we keep growing this community in 2021.
Yeah, and we're going to be having lots of fun. So, all right, Matt, I think that wraps us up for the show. So everybody listening on the podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, please share and rate and give us a like. We really appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, also subscribe and like. We'd love that. If you're not watching the YouTube video and you're just listening to the podcast, if you do want to see some of the stuff we're talking about sometimes, check that out as well. And like Matt was just saying, we're on all of the social networks. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Really been active on Twitter recently. That's where we're doing everything with Conbini Tournament and just, connecting with everybody in general. So yeah. Oh, and if you have a Conbini memory, hey, you can go to our website. It's anchor.fm/Conbini Boys, and you can click on leave a message, or if you're in the States, you can call 617-453-8207, and you can leave a message. Maybe it'll be a Conbini memory, maybe it'll be a Conbini composition. Anything you want to say, just let us have it, and we'll play it. All right, Matt. Wow, 2021, here we go. Really happy to be on this journey with you into the Conbini. And Matt, I guess for now I'll see you at the Conbini.
I'll see you at the Conbini, Mike.